So your customer insights assignment for level 4, July 2020, is going to get you to go deeper into the core of marketing, which is about understanding, anticipating your customer requirements. And today, in a digitalized world, this is in one way getting more complex because there's so much of behavioral change that are happening. On the other hand, the access to data, ability to generate that insights are even a lot more easier. Said that, the topic of understanding your customer is going to be at the heart of this book, which is your Principles of Marketing Kotler, and it's the 17th edition. And if you drill down into chapter 4, where we talk about managing information, and there onwards, in your chapter 7, starts the discussion on segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So that's at the core. Of course, we are going to use other books that are going to be of relevance. So in your marketing communications book by Pelsmaker, you will be able to get a good start on your ebooks. For an example, if you scroll down to, where do we say? So example on target groups, as you can see, it gets you to the conversation of segmentation, targeting, positioning in a pretty simplistic approach. So Kotler, Pelsmaker, and few more books, you will be able to get all the relevant theory from the right sources. Once again, when it comes to books, no shortcuts. You got to go to the right author to get the deeper thinking, because what you learn is for life. All right, back to your assignment, which is the easy work. After you've done your reading, after you've done your research, doing your assignment, honestly, it's not going to be a big challenge. So 3 tasks, all 3 are compulsory. So the first step was and is to select your company, and that selection has to be done thoughtfully, and that company background has to be converted to 2 pages, and that's already uploaded to your Google Classroom, and most of you have already got your feedback. The ones coming after results, you will have to get this done quickly. Good news, a lot of support available for you. You won't be wasting too much of time. Next important decision is the selection of your theme. And at Dafedil, as you know, we've started a theme forum to guide you through this whole topic of selection of a theme. Now, as real business people, we are always thinking about growth. How do I grow the revenue or sales of my company? How do I manage my expenses, and how do I achieve profits? So CRM is absolutely business focused. So as you can see, the themes are related to supporting your growth. So there are 4 themes which you will have to go through and select one and justify why you selected that theme. So example, acquiring new customers clearly is a theme if you're a new supermarket chain, such as the Spa, or maybe even Kiehl's for that matter. But when it comes to Cargill's, which has one of the largest customer base around the country, they might need to work a lot more on retaining customers and building more loyalty. So likewise, you've got to justify your specific theme. Yeah. So a lot of guidance for this in your Google Classroom, so use it effectively. The next important decision is to understand what's the presentation format of this task. So it's a briefing paper which you need to know the format for it. And that's not rocket science. If you go to a Google Class, as you could see, go to your classworks, and the video guides are there, the company background, the assignment details, module, the syllabus, slide decks are already there for you. And you know you can access this on your mobile, on your app. So if you just go to your assignment work and go to guidelines, and you will be able to find the guidance on doing a briefing paper. So read through this guidance carefully. It will give you a lot of insights to what really sometimes takes your marks away from your assignment. Plagiarism, collusion, these are important areas to read. There onwards, you will be able to see the font sizes, margins, all that. And here are the types of formats. This time for you, it's a briefing paper and there are a couple of examples. Try to be guided by this. You don't have to do all what is required, but the basics are important. So there you go. The next part of your assignment is command words. Now, you might be wondering what a command word is. So when you go through an assignment, you will find there is always clear command: justify, assess, discuss. So you got to stay true to those command words and clearly understand what each command word means. So there you go. Command words are clearly defined. So take a printout of this, put it in front of your desk where you actually do your work, because you need to keep focusing on this all the time. So these are your basics in setting up your assignment framework. Let's go to the assignment itself. So the first part of the assignment is the company background, which we already discussed. Then there are 3 parts to this task. And if you get this done, your first 35 marks are at play. So here you go. Justify the approach to segmentation, targeting, and positioning that has determined the choice of your key customer segment. In task 1A, to achieve the desired marketing position. So in task 1A, which is your company background, you indicated what your key segment is. Here you're going to justify what made you select it. So this is where your detailed audit analysis of your market segments are going to be important. Your current targeting and your current positioning. So this is an analysis that you will have to have. We have already started this in our masterclass, so please keep that improving. And the details from that is what you could bring into your briefing paper. So example, if you take Nike, which is what we are going through at the moment, the market could be segmented based on gender, based on age, based on lifestyle. So one of the couple of segments we've identified are the millennials, the aging population, the sports fans, the sports-based segments, basketball, running, etc., cycling. So you got to look at different segments in the market, and then of course that analysis has to be very clear, and based on that, how the targeting is happening between you, even competition, you would justify why the current segment is going to be relevant for you. So example, you will justify why the women market, not the sports-based women, but women who are into active, healthy, wellness-based lifestyle, not the athletes. So likewise, you have to make specific reference to the segment you've selected and justify. And in that justification, some of the criteria required to justify a segment is going to be important. Size of the segment, growth of the segment. So this type of theoretical information is already available in the books we discussed earlier. Kotler, Telsmaker, Zezuk, and all these books are available for you. And by the end of this task, you'll be very clear why this segment is going to help you to support your team as well as the market position you plan to achieve. So in Nike's case, do you want to be a dominant player in women's space and get positioned over there where that segment is going to see your brand as their desired choice when they think of a sports shoe or sports attire. So key thing is weed through segmentation, targeting, positioning for you to start applying into this task. The second part of the assignment is about assessing individual and group factors that influence behavior of key segments. Now we are coming into consumer behavior. Remember, there could be B2B customers, B2C customers. So how do customers behave? Their response hierarchy. How do they go about buying a product or dealing with your company. Every customer is not going to move from attention, interest, desire, action. We call it IDA. Some products, maybe buying an apartment or a $200 pair of shoes, say Nikes, is not going to happen simple as that. There would be different steps what people would follow. So a model like the Howard-Shet model we discussed in class is a good model to base your thinking and then add other theories into it. For an example, if you go and look at your digital marketing excellence material from Shafi, you will find clear chapters that supports you in understand consumer behavior. Example, the digital customer, what are their motivations, what are their expectations, how do they process information online. So you've got to plug in the digital aspect also in to what you're going to do here. So assess individual and group factors. You can break them into headings, the individual group factors, use the right theories, and then show how that factors impact the selected segment specifically. For an example, the way you consume video today is an individual factor. The way you are using your smartphone is an individual factor. A group factor would be your peers, the society, your family, your work colleagues. So how do these factors affect your customer segment and the way they buy their shoes or go eat at a restaurant or book a hotel? So once again, being a customer insight assignment, it's critical that you use a lot of information, insight, research findings that you will get from sources like AZ Nielsen, Mintel reports, Gartner, Forrester. These companies published a lot of information and insights which you could be using to support the points you're going to make. Plus what you find from your company and whatever is published in your local market. Final part, discuss the application of the extended marketing mix to this segment. So you look at the segment and then look at their segment variables and segment behavior, consumer behavior, and look at your product, price, place, promotion, people, processes, and physical evidence. Once again, that's the base that you got to go in detail to understand the 7 Ps, apart from some of the documents available on your Google Classroom. But you got to read through the right books to get a good, deep understanding. So there you go. So example, if it's a woman's market, a segment that you're looking at, how is there a product variation that's happening to support the women? Is it the color schemes or is it a specific shape and sizing? Pricing, I'm not sure whether there was a pricing difference for women. So place, is there a separate aspect in your stores or in your website relating to the women and helping in their purchase? So you got to look at what happens, benchmark some other companies who's doing it as well, and discuss that, taking a couple of points out. So that's task B, C, and D. This is deeply synced into customer insights, and there onwards is application to your value proposition. And when you're doing your 7 Ps, remember you got to also do the digital piece that basically comes from your digital marketing excellence book, as you know. And the chapter that guides you into that is called the remix. I believe that's your chapter 2. So remember to use this thinking so that you are current in the way you evaluate or rather discuss the 7 Ps of the company. So that's the deal. In summary, go through the assignment in detail, select your company background, get the support of the Google Classroom to get your feedback on it, select the theme, and remember to apply the theme all across B, C, D, and rest of the assignment. Don't forget to keep in mind the format, which is a briefing paper in this case, and use the right books. You have to reference the theory, And whenever you are applying examples from your company, you got to give specific sources. Where did you get that information? Is it a website? Is it a press article? Etc. So that's your video guide for task 1 of your customer insights assignment.